My name is Carlos Ruiz. I own HT Metals here in Tucson, and I am holding in my hand the 6-page document, which is the Tucson Minimum Wage Act. And you wonder, why would you need 6 legal pages to say, let's move this wage from $12.15 an hour it is now to $15 an hour? It's because it's not about the minimum wage. This act is about so much more than just raising the minimum wage in the city of Tucson. So I'm going to give you, and a $15 minimum wage increase would be a 23.5% increase in 4 years. That's how long it takes to get there. But it's more than that. What this act does in the 6 pages, it creates a new city department called the Department of Labor Standards. In that department, they will hire wage investigators. These wage investigators will be able to access your pay records and your time records if an action is brought up against you. It has the ability to establish new fees to charge every single business in the city of Tucson to fund the activities of this brand new department, which will have a director level employee. The other thing is there will be, it allows for interested parties that are interested in going after businesses, and those interested parties can initiate actions against businesses, and if successful, those interested parties get 30% of the fines and penalties that are assessed against that business, and the city of Tucson, they get 70% of the fines and fees. So there's an incentive for outside parties to becoming activists to go after employers in the city of Tucson. The other thing is they define large employers, and so these things, there's so many more problems, but a large employer is 26 employees. So if you have 26 or more employees, you're considered a large employer by this act, and there are some work rules. So if you have somebody come in and things are slow and you want to send them home, and they don't work their full shift, you're going to pay them 3 hours of work. Whether they have worked 3 hours or not, they're going to get 3 hours. If you cancel somebody's shift in less than 24 hours, you will pay them 3 hours of work. And that's for every single business that has 26 or more people. And then finally, the department will do a survey of employers that tend to have lower wage workers. So whatever you think that industry is, and that survey will guide the department. It will guide them in how they investigate those employers and industries. So whether you have an action or not, you may get a wage investigator knocking on your door someday saying, excuse me, we'd like to look at your pay records, just to kind of, you fall under this list that we've created from our survey. So these are just the insidious extras that are listed in this act that needs to be defeated. So again, Carlos Ruiz, and now I'm going to pass it off to Chris DeSimone. We're going to do a little ask on how you can get involved to stop this act.
Good evening to you all. I love Carlos. He is a true business owner, former chairman of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and that guy is someone who is living the business owner's dream and trying to take care of his employees. And like me and the folks behind us, we're masochists for public policy. So as a guy who's been doing a radio show, writing columns for years, I'm an advocate for small business and the taxpayer. And sad to say, in this $15 an hour is an assault on the small business owner. It's an assault on the fixed income senior in this community. Because you know something? They're not getting a raise. right? So what's going to happen is if you're that grandma, that couple that's on your fixed income, you have one pension check and your couple of Social Security checks, all of a sudden as things start getting more and more expensive in this town, it's going to start pricing you out of doing some of the things for your quality of life. So I'm kind of a little fired up on this because, one, I know small business is part of the lifeblood of a community. I am awed by what the small business owners in this community have had to do to survive and thrive. But I've also had a lot of friends whose business went out of business in this town that didn't have to go out of business. Businesses want to scale up. This is something that Carlos and I have talked about all the time with his business. Business owners are always trying to scale up to that next level. Well, you want to prevent homegrown businesses from scaling up in Tucson, Arizona, Pima County. If the county may do this too one day, it's coming. All right? If you want to slow down the amount of our homegrown men and women that want to start businesses for them to start here, grow here, scale up, and be the next great business, kill them with more of this stuff. That's where we're at. And as a community that's struggling to not only just scale up our economy, we're just trying to get our economy out of the doldrums. I mean, we've been dragging along here for quite a while. If this becomes official, which it sounds like it's going to, when we hit early July, we are going to put together a very heavy, aggressive anti-Fight for 15.
My name is Grant Kruger. I'm the owner and operator of Union Hospitality Group. Really excited to have you guys here this evening. We're often in the business of second or even third chances. We start people off their first jobs in high school, and sometimes we help pick people up off the ground when they've made a few bad decisions in life and need to start all over again from ground zero as a dishwasher. And we train them up and we build them all so that we can serve you dinner on a Friday night inside of 15 to 18 minutes. That workforce is very, very, very important. It's important not just to us as a business, but it's important to the community to employ all these individuals. And so I stand before you today looking down the barrel of what should be a proposition to bring a $15 minimum wage to the city of Tucson. It sounds like a great thing on paper up front. Everybody deserves to earn a little more, right? Like we've all got a soft spot in our hearts. I start all kinds of people up from the bottom. But the government alone should not be dictating the wages of our community, particularly only one portion of our community in just the city of Tucson. Think about what that would bring if the wages were different in the city of Tucson than they were in unincorporated Pima County. We happen to be located in unincorporated Pima County right now. This particular ballot proposal wouldn't affect my business standing in front of you right now here in the least. But I'm here to advocate for both the Tucson business owners and for all of Pima County to fight against this government overreach and find ways for us to work together to help us climb out of this particular hole that not just the hospitality business, but many small business owners in southern Arizona have faced over these last 16 months. We're now looking at an increase in minimum wage that would be many times stronger than what the national average is. The state of Arizona, at its current minimum wage of $12.15 an hour, happens to be the 11th highest minimum wage in the country. And the city of Tucson's minimum wage would take the city of Tucson to basically the highest wage in the entire country. And that's not going to be good for you. That's not going to be good for business. It's not going to be good for our staff. And it's going to be terrible for inflation.